Can money buy immortality? Searching for the key to immortality may sound like the story of a superhero movie villain. Nowadays, when the billionaires aren't investing in space programs and tech research, the super rich are investing in a quest to become immortal. Or, at least increase their lifespan. Will the concept of death, the ultimate truth, ever get replaced by more advanced technology through loads of money? Many people have suspected that such a point may arrive in their lifetime. Among them are some ultra-wealthy people. They funded companies, started trusts, and announced awards so as to find a key to become immortal. Most of the billionaires who have funded the war against aging and death are from Silicon Valley because they're the kind of people that are trained to believe that a death needs an answer. And since death may be a problem for them, they're trying to find out a solution. The recent investor in this technology is Amazon founder Jeff Bezos. Having returned from a quick trip to space in July, the next very big achievement multi-billionaire Jeff Bezos hoping for is, reportedly, death. According to MIT Technology Review, Bezos has invested in Altos Labs, a mysterious new startup pursuing biological reprogramming to rejuvenate cells within the lab. The startup reportedly intends to apply the technology to entire animal bodies, ultimately halting biological aging, increasing the human lifespan and possibly overcoming death. Not just Bezos, there are several other billionaires who have been investing in anti-aging research and to overcome death for years. Back in 2006, Peter Thiel, the billionaire co-founder of PayPal, pledged $3.5 million to the Methuselah Foundation, which is a nonprofit group working on lifespan extension by advancing tissue engineering and regenerative medicines. Altos Labs is said to have emerged from a science conference that Russian-born billionaire, Yuri Milner, organized at his residence in Palo Altos in California. At the outset, this company and the researchers it's said to have hired with offers of million-dollar salaries. The company will be working on tweaking animal cells to see if they can be nudged to rejuvenate themselves. Eventually, the goal is to see whether this approach can be used to get the entire body to undergo a renewal. According to a report from MIT Technology Review, PayPal co-founder Peter Thiel said, "The way people deal with aging is a combination of acceptance and denial. They accept there is nothing they can do about it, and deny it's going to happen to them." Thiel takes hormone growth daily and is planning to participate in cryonic freezing after his death, according to the Technology Review report. Thiel has also heavily invested in biotech companies. Most of his investments in the industry are made via his Thiel Foundation. But at least 5 investments, including in the DNA laser printing company Cambrian Genomics and in cancer drug developer StemCell RX, are made via his venture capital firm, Founder Fund. He has also invested $17 million in Counsel since 2011, which is a company that offers DNA screening. In the year 2003, the billionaire founder of Oracle, Larry Ellison, said, "It doesn't make any sense to me. Death has never made any sense to me. How can a person be there and then just vanish, just not be there?" Larry wants to defeat death, and for that, he has set up a foundation, the Ellison Medical Foundation, which gives out more than $40 million a year dedicated to ending mortality, or at least to understand lifespan development processes and age-related diseases and disabilities. Larry Page, the co-founder of Google and ex-CEO of Alphabet, founded Calico in 2013. Calico, which is a short name for California Life Company, focuses on anti-aging research. In 2014, the company announced it had an investment of $750 million from Google. In 2013, the group garnered some attention for using genetic mutations to increase the lifespan of earthworms to the human equivalent of 400 to 500 years. Talking about billionaires, how can we forget Facebook co-founder Mark Zuckerberg? During a very exciting Facebook QA session, Stephen Hawking asked Zuckerberg what big questions in science would he like to know the answer to and why. "I'm most interested in questions about people. What will enable us to live forever? How do we cure all diseases? How does the brain work? How does learning work, and how we can empower humans to learn 1,000,000 times more?" Zuckerberg replied. Zuckerberg and his wife Priscilla Chan, along with Google co-founder Sergey Brin and his ex-wife Anne Wojcicki, are co-founders of the Breakthrough Prize, which awards $3 million to scientists who discover new ways to extend human life. However, if you think this is the first time someone has desired to live forever, then you're wrong. In history, There have been several rulers and scientists who tried their best to conquer death and fulfill their dream of living forever. But none of them could succeed. Dating back to the 18th century BC, the Epic of Gilgamesh tells the story of the ancient Sumerian king Gilgamesh. The epic poem is one of the oldest surviving literary works in history. After Gilgamesh's close friend, Enkidu, becomes ill and dies, the tragedy leads the king to pursue the secret to immortality. Gilgamesh searches for Unapishtim, the equivalent of Noah, who survived a flood created by the gods in an attempt to destroy humankind. Prior to the flood, the god of wisdom, Ea, tipped Unapishtim off to the impending disaster, so Unapishtim built a giant boat for his family and other animals and endured the event. Gilgamesh didn't succeed in his quest to become immortal, but he came to understand that his legacy through the kingdom he built would give him some measure of immortality. Another such story is of China's first emperor, Qin Shi Huang. After uniting China and becoming its first emperor, Huang became obsessed with the idea of living forever to preserve the power he had fought so hard to achieve. In his later years, the emperor sought out the mythical elixir of life, which would confer immortality onto anyone who consumed it. So obsessed was Huang with immortality that he in fact died consuming mercury pills that he believed would extend his life. The search for the sorcerer's stone didn't die with Qin Shi Huang. Successive Chinese emperors would pick up where he left off. Around the 9th century, ancient Chinese monks working on increasing human lifespan discovered gunpowder. The thing they found would be the foundation of a technology that would ensure the sudden and immediate mortality of hundreds of millions of people for centuries later. But unlike the ancient times, today's billionaires are updated with highly advanced technology and years of research. Here are some ongoing inventions where the billionaires are investing loads of money. Young blood transfusions. Young blood transfusion refers to transfusing blood specifically from a young person into an older one with the intention of creating a health benefit. There are more than 3 companies in the US conducting trials into the effects of transfusing blood from young and healthy people into those who are getting on in years. Peter Thiel has also expressed interest in the procedure. But what if you are being infused with somebody else's blood and it doesn't match? It can unleash a severe immune reaction. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration, in 2019, cautioned consumers against receiving young donor plasma infusions, stating that they are an unproven treatment and are potentially harmful. Cryonic preservation. Many billionaires have invested huge amounts of money in cryonic preservation. Cryonics is the process of preserving life by pausing the dying process using subfreezing temperatures with the intent of restoring good health with medical technology in the future. Alcor fixed a charge of a minimum of $80,000 for the preservation of the brain and $200,000 for whole-body cryonic preservation. Digital consciousness. What would be your reaction if someone tells you that you can upload your brain to a cloud? This does sound funny as well as creepy at the same time. Well, there's actually some serious money being invested in this project. A company called Nectomy charges $10,000 to preserve your brain after death using a high-tech embalming process in the hopes that future scientists will be able to scan your well-stored brain and turn it into a computer simulation. What does this mean? Can we live forever? We need to understand that death is not easy to contend and it is the ultimate truth. Imagining that we'll live forever, whether physically or spiritually, is an elemental solace. But even if we achieve this unimaginable feat someday in future, will this be a good idea? What would be its consequences? Achieving immortality would come with lots of challenges, such as overpopulation, greed of living more, food shortage and many more. Even in the past, scientists and researchers have given warnings about possible havocs in case of overpopulation. In the 18th century, famous British economist Thomas Robert Malthus wrote an essay on the principle of population. In it, Malthus theorized that populations would continue to expand until growth is stopped or reversed by disease, famine, war, or calamity. He is also known for developing an exponential formula used to forecast population growth, which is currently known as the Malthusian growth model. Malthus specifically stated that the human population increases geometrically, while food production increases arithmetically. Under this paradigm, humans would eventually be unable to produce enough food to survive. Getting immortality is next to impossible, and even if it's a catch-on somehow within the next few decades, will it be beneficial for humankind? It might surely create certain problems. What will most of the people do for 200 years? Some people, just like the billionaires, could enjoy the additional century, but what about the remaining people? They might be lost within the ocean of life. Also, what if one wishes to opt out at 70, saying this is enough? What would that be? Suicide or wisdom? Only time will tell what's gonna happen. Do you think these billionaires will ever be able to achieve immortality? Tell us in the comments. Thanks for watching. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe.